Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Byakhya's Economic News Picks of the Week. I'm your host John Manandar and today I'll be presenting the weekly economic and business highlights of the country from 20th to 26th May 2022. So without any delay, let's get into it. For our first news, the Supreme Court on May 26 quashed the government's decision to construct the much controversial Nijgadh International Airport in Bara as the national pride project turned out to be an environmental nightmare despite being a developmental dream. The Supreme Court's decision in this regard is instrumental as it has set a correct precedent by rebuking the government to not prioritize the growth at the cost of the social and environmental well-being of the nation. But the question remains, if the airport was such an environmental nightmare, why was it deliberated in the first place? Moreover, considering we now have 3 international airports, did we really need another one? You'll find the answers in our upcoming video. Now to the next news. At a joint session of both Houses of Parliament on May 25, President Vidya Devi Bhandari unveiled policies and programs for the upcoming fiscal year 2022-23. However, instead of being a concise list of priorities, it seems that the government is, like always, trying to cram in as many points as possible in the pre-budget document that is spread over 66 pages and 145 points. Therefore, despite having many positive initiatives, the proposed policies and programs seem rather unwieldy. This will undoubtedly undercut its credibility, compelling people to take the initiatives promised with a pinch of salt. Stay tuned for our upcoming video where we elaborate on the admirable initiatives along with unrealistic tall promises highlighted in the pre-budget document. Now to the next news. At a time when Nepal is still reeling under the record destruction of paddy crops last year worth Rs 8.26 billion, the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development has announced that wheat harvest is likely to fall short of projection this year, rising by less than 1% to 2.02 million tons. And the reason? The unseasonal frequency of mid-October that started in the western part of Nepal on October 17 last year and then moved to the eastern part on October 19, inundating districts, claiming more than 100 lives and destroying vital infrastructures like road and bridges in its wake. Our upcoming video explains how the unseasonal rainfall that destroyed record paddy crops last year is also responsible for the decline in wheat yields this year. We will also explore how such unseasonal weather patterns are getting increasingly more frequent and posing a threat to the Himalayan nation that seems woefully underprepared to tackle such emerging realities of climate change. Now to the next news. In a bid to attract airlines to the freshly inaugurated Byakhya International Airport, the government has announced a 100% waiver on various fees such as landing fees, parking fees, communication fees, navigation or security fee for a year to be effective from May 28. This means airlines will be getting services worth around $2,000 free of cost per flight. However, except for Nepal Airlines, other airlines seem to be disenchanted with the generous exemptions as no one have applied to serve Byakhya International Airport. Want to know why? Stay tuned for our next video. Now to the final news. I'm sure you still remember how on May 14, the Indian government shocked the entire world by suddenly announcing a partial ban on wheat exports, citing the need to focus on domestic demands. Well, now the southern neighbor has also banned the exports of sugar with effect from June 1. At present, about 120,000 metric tons of sugar consumption are made through imports, mostly from India. In fact, India alone has exported 89,000 metric tons of sugar worth Rs 4.7 billion to Nepal in the first 10 months of the current fiscal year. Anyways, the ban shouldn't come as a surprise because during times of economic crisis, when push comes to shove, the governments will always prioritize the interest of their population over everyone else's. This is one reason why achieving self-sufficiency is important, especially for vital necessities such as sugar. But did you know that Nepal could have achieved self-sufficiency in sugar if not for government's political pandering to large sugar manufacturers? In our upcoming video, we will explain how crony capitalism in the sugar industry have deterred farmers from farming sugarcane in Nepal, causing the sugar production to dry out, thereby deepening our reliance on imported sugar. So, that's it for today. Hope you found our economic highlights informative, and stay tuned for our upcoming videos where we will analyze the presented economic highlights with our own analytical twist. Have a wonderful week ahead. Checking out John Mananthar.